Good evening once again, and thank you all for being here. So it started with just an arbitrary conversation outside with one of my friends. For some reason, I was convinced that the hook and loop fastener was the most underrated invention of our time. And in order to prove my conviction for this statement, I went ahead and purchased a pair of shoes that use the hook and loop fastener. Now, it didn't really seem to start a trend, but I still stand by my original statement that it is one of the most underrated inventions of our time. That is to say, the hook and loop fastener has an interesting story, and it's a quite unique one. Now, the idea was conceived back in the 1940s when Georges de Mestral went out hiking. It was a simple hike. He took his dog along, and they had a normal hunting trip, I guess you could say. And it wasn't until afterwards that Mr. Mestral was looking at his clothes and looking at his dog's fur, and he noticed that little sticker burrs were stuck. And that made him think. Being the engineer that he was, from Sweden, he decided to look at that little burr under a microscope, and he noticed that the little burrs had hooks on the end. And it was those little hooks that he noticed were interwoven within the loops of his fabric in the dog's fur, and he began to immediately think that he could use these hooks and these loops in order to create a fastener that would, I guess, make him money. That was his internal genius speaking. And so this type of idea where he takes something from nature and incorporates it into an invention is called biomimicry. It's a term that I just recently learned, and it's basically what I just said. You're using something from nature for technology. Now, like I said, this idea did not come about overnight. It was moldering on his head, and then it didn't become an actual invention, I guess, for 8 years. So it didn't go from conception to birth right away. There was a long and strenuous labor process. So, like I said, 8 years down the road, he had, I guess, experimented with several different materials. He had tried using cotton to create this hook and loop fastener, but he learned that it just wore out too quickly. And then he decided he's going to try to use this new synthetic material called nylon. And back in the 1950s, when this finally came about, it was a pretty big deal to use this nylon material. But that was what he used to create the first hook and loop fastener. And it was October 15th of 1952 when he finally received his first patent. And the company that he received this patent under is none other than what we call Velcro. Now, Velcro has had a long and prosperous history. Today, the Velcro company has over 300 patents to their name. And while we call everything Velcro, anytime we see those little latching materials, that sticky tape, we all know what I'm talking about, we just call it Velcro. But instead, that's a common misconception. The actual term, as I've been saying all along throughout the speech, is hook and loop fastener. Calling all of those hook and loop fasteners Velcro is kind of like calling all tissues Kleenex or calling all gelatin Jell-O. It's just one of those things that the brand has gone along with the actual product. The name has stuck with the product. So like I said, 300 patents. The U.S. military was actually one of the first investors or large investors in this product of Velcro. Even though he was a Swedish engineer, the U.S. started its own company, the Velcro USA company. They used it for different military equipment. They used it on backpacks. They used it for their uniforms. The patches that soldiers have on their arms or on their uniform are oftentimes attached by Velcro. It was even NASA that noticed how important and how innovative this invention was that they signed them up. I saw some pictures where they're actually playing chess in space with the little pieces stuck on the board using Velcro. Recently, even it came to my attention that Prada is now an investor in Velcro. So their new line of shoes includes Velcro straps, the hook and loop fasteners. So while I may not have started the trend when I was a 20-year-old wearing these Velcro shoes, I still like to think that it is a very useful invention, and I think we've all had experience with it when we were young and trying to tie our own shoes. We probably all at one point had some of those Velcro shoes, those hook and loop fastener shoes. So, in honor of a great invention, I will proudly remember my Velcro shoes. Any questions at this point? Yeah.
Do you know how to tie now?
I did finally learn how to tie my shoes, yes. I knew how to tie my shoes from an early age, but it was just after that conversation with my friend that I was convinced I needed to bring back some hook and loop fastener shoes. Yeah.
Are you wearing Velcro shoes right now?
I am currently not wearing Velcro shoes. All right. Well, thank you all.